was another day at Rainbow HQ, and everybody was now relaxing after a mission had been completed. Ash was in her room, checking her Facebook feed on her phone, lying in her bed with her combat gear off and a white tank top and black sweatpants. She was just scrolling through various things until she heard a knock at the door. "Enter," Ash said. The door the door revealing Jaeger in a black t-shirt and his usual jeans, his combat gear off, including his headgear. "Hey, Elijah," the German defender said as he stood in the doorway. "Hey, Marius?" I don't know.
Yeah.
"What's up?" Ash asked. "Well, Monica, told me to tell you that she would like to see you if you have a moment," Jaeger answered. Why would she tell you? Why would she tell you when she could have told me herself, Marius? Um, she claimed that she felt too embarrassed to tell you on her own, so she'd like to see you as soon as possible. All right, I'll be right there. All right, Buzz, you want to read?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ash got up from her bed, left her room, and headed straight to IQ's room. She knocked on the door. Ja, IQ called from behind her door. "Monica, it's Eliza. Marius said that you'd like to talk to me," Ash said through the door. "Be there in a moment," the German female said through the door. When the door opened, re- revealing IQ in her hoodie and jeans through the rest of wait, without the rest of her combat gear. She had an erotic look on her face, and what she did next surprised Ash. She pulled the FBI operator into her room, and then pushed her against the wall, and before Ash knew it, IQ was kissing her passionately on her lips. "Monica, what are you?" was all Ash could say before IQ continued to smush her with more passion. The German entering her the, the German entering her tongue into
Israel's.
Israeli's Israel's mouth. The two of them sunk deeper into kisses, and Ash putting one sec, where am I? Where am I?
Her hands on IQ's waist.
Putting. Oh, okay. Her hands on IQ's wrist or waist. Ash kissing just as passionate as IQ. IQ then held one hand on Ash and used the other hand to stick inside of Ash's pants, rubbing her clit, earning her some moans from her. "Oh well. Oh yeah, Monica. Just like that." I didn't. Oh, I didn't know that that was moans. "Oh yeah, Monica. Just like that." Ash moaned. "Why don't we? Why don't we kick it up a bit then?" IQ said seductively in between her kisses. And then the two of them made their way into IQ's bed, where IQ got on top of Ash, and or the two operatives now caressing,
Caressing.
caressing, caressing
Caressing.
each other everywhere. IQ got up uh, for a sec, taking a moment to unzip her hoodie, relieving, revealing to Ash that she wasn't wearing a bra. And she wasn't wearing
She was
panties
going
either.
full commando, dude.
Oh yeah. When she removed her pants, only a dildo being in the only thing seen there. Ash sat up and allowed IQ to take her tank top off, sinking back into a passionate kissing as the German removed her bra, and then the IQ removed and then IQ removed Ash's pants with her panties. All right, you go.
All right. Oh shit. Before they got into it, IQ fingered Ash a bit, earning her some moans from the FBI attacker. She went in deeper with her fingers,
Oh my god.
in which Ash's moans got louder, and then IQ said in a seductive voice, "Are you ready to party, Elijah?" "Fuck me," whispered Ash, in which IQ entered with their dildo. Once they felt once they felt the pleasure, IQ started thrusting, both of them moaning as the Germans' thrust picked up more and more. "Yes, Monica, harder!" Ash yelled over IQ's loud moans. IQ picked up her speed, her body becoming more and more sweaty as they thrusted. And out of Ash's pussy, eventually she was gonna climax. "Elijah, I'm coming!" IQ yelled over Ash's loud moans, in which she unleashed a load inside of her. Oh, but I thought that this was a dildo, not her dick.
Yeah.
Both of them let out a sigh of satisfaction, and then with swift motion, IQ flipped IQ over, the FBI operative on top of the GSG-9 operator. IQ was still lodged up inside IQ, both of them panting for a while. Thank you for wait. Thank you for doing this to me, Elijah, IQ said, her hands snaking around Ash's back. uh Wait.
Putting them.
I'm putting him around her neck. Ooh. Monica, you have satisfied me tonight. That was fun, Ash replied. I love you, IQ whispered to Ash, putting her into contact. Wait, putting her to connect their foreheads. I love you too, Monica, Ash replied, whispering to IQ before kissing her. "Wanna go again?" Ash asked with a cheeky smile. Ash grinned back at the German and kissed her passionately on the lips, with their tongues fighting it out for dominance inside their mouth. All right, I see Blitz in there, so.
I know, I saw it too.
All right.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Just as they were kissing, they heard the door open up. Blitz walked in wearing a blue V-neck and gray sweatpants, not noticing what was really going on. "Monica, is everything alright?" Blitz gasped when he saw what was really happening. IQ and Ash blushing as they looked at him with shock expressions on uh their oh, that's the same one. On their faces. "Is there something wrong, Elijah?" IQ asked.
No, that's Elias
Oh,
or something like that.
Elias. I'll come back uh, a, a little later, Blitz said, turning around and walking out of IQ's door. They looked at each other. They looked at each other, shrugged, and then Ash was thrusting herself in and out of IQ hard, her tits bouncing along with the movement. IQ was moaning loudly as she rose up and started sucking on
Both
other
of them. Both of them.
on both of them. Ash moaning from the feeling. "Keep going, Monica. Oh, it feels so good." Ash moaned. IQ IQ pleased her and went for her erect nipples. Erect nipples surprising IQ. Ash pushed her down back onto the bed. Ash proceeded to pepper the German with kisses on her neck and as she continued to thrust in and out of her and worked her way down her body. She slid her hands down IQ, squeezing her tits hard, and then came back up to kiss IQ hard on her lips. As they were kissing, Ash was close to climaxing. Monica, I'm I'm gonna come. Ash Ash came before she could get the last word out. Her body sweating like crazy, sweat dripping onto IQ. IQ still having enough energy for one more round, flipped her over and began riding her. IQ was going for her hardest and finest and fastest.
Fastest.
Both operators both operators moaning like crazy while was thrusting. Ash was Ash put both her hands on her waist, thrusting herself up IQ, and up into IQ. As they did this over, as can I talk? As they did this for what felt like a straight hour, both of them were about to climax at the same time. In fact, they filled with so much pleasure, a lust,
And
a
lust.
lust that non, and lust that none of them were able to inform of. Uh, I cannot talk. Inform one another about climaxing, and they did it at the same time. Um,
You want me to read it? The last paragraph.
yeah.
IQ pulled out of Ash, removed her dildo, tossing it to the side. And then the both of them collapsed into the bed. Ich liebe dich. I love you. Elijah. Or Elysia. Whatever IQ's name is. Or
Yeah.
Ash's. I don't know. IQ said, about to fall asleep with Ash's arms around her. Ash, too tired to reply, smiled, kissed IQ on the lips, and they went to sleep.